So, hopefully you enjoyed one of my favourite clips from one of my favourite films, and now you're probably sitting there thinking, well, what's that got to do with public law? Well, I'll tell you what's got to do with public law. You're probably also sitting there thinking, why should I do public law and administration? Well, I'll tell you why. Public law and administration puts you into everything. Equalities and human rights, education, housing, child protection, adult protection, gypsy travellers, decision making for public bodies, planning, litigation, freedom of information, data protection, procurement, contracts, conveyancing, even conveyancing, we're there too, antisocial behaviour, liquor and civic licensing, environmental health, environmental protection, roads legislation. These are just a few of the areas that public administration and law is involved with. So in terms of the public administration course, of course we won't be able to go through all of these, but what we can do is pick some of these, which we have, and go through some of these main subject areas and use the theme of gypsy travellers to guide us through some of these areas. So for example, we will deal with planning, we'll deal with equalities and human rights, we'll deal with housing, we'll deal with family, child protection, and we will use this vehicle of the gypsy traveller theme stroke case study to guide us through that. So what will you learn through the public administration course? Well, you will learn what is public law and administration, first and foremost. You'll also learn why we do, what responsibilities and duties are placed upon public law and bodies to deliver, for example, and well, how do we do that? So one hand you've got the duty, and the other hand is how do you actually put that into practice, policies, procedures, and decision making. And you'll learn not only how we do that, but also you will learn the competing demands that are placed on public administration bodies. So such as, for example, planning law on the one hand and human rights on the other, and you may actually recall some big cases, particularly down in Essex in England, where there were these competing demands in terms of human rights and gypsy travellers and planning law. In terms of the course itself, well, the course will be very, very interactive, and we will visit a local authority council meeting. Hopefully they'll show us the ropes as to how you do it in real life, and we can see that, how politics works. And then we'll do our own mock committee, which then will demonstrate that we're even better than the politicians at delivering that. Then we'll draft a child protection order to take a child away from harm. We'll draft equality impact assessments. We will have presentations and arguments in terms of, for example, a judicial review type scenario. You will take part in interesting legal, but more importantly political discussions on gypsy travellers. Now, I remember reading before, law is politics, politics is law, and I think that's very much applicable here. In terms of previous feedback from the students, if I may quote one of last year's students, which I think particularly sums up the public administration course and why I think you should do it. If I quote, "Once I found out I had a commercial traineeship, I was tempted to change my choice of public administration. I'm glad I didn't, as it's been my favourite module by far. Something a little different with the interaction." So, in conclusion, I have to sell this course to you, which I hopefully have done so. And just to summarise, I would say, if you want to work in public administration, then this is a course for you. We will build the foundations for what you require and the ground to prepare to do that. If you want to work in private or commercial firms, well, just remember, you never know where you'll end up. You may well end up in public administration. And just remember that also public law and administration is in everything. We're the ultimate backstage pass. We deal with everything from commercial stuff to more public related stuff such as human rights. But we're there, we're in absolutely everything. So hopefully this course will give you some food for thought, and I hope that you'll take that away and hopefully take the public administration course. So I bid you farewell, and I'll say adios for now. Goodbye.